Hey, welcome to the latest version of tools for Maropost Commerce Cloud. In this video, I'm just going to show you some of the changes and just explain how things work, and also show you some of the new features of the Chrome extension. Okay, so when you install the Chrome extension, what you'll see when you pin the icon to your bar up here is you'll see two configuration options underneath the settings tab. There is also a details tab which has some videos on how to set up the content ID, which I'll show you in a second, the demo of that. Watch that video if you want to embed the content ID into your footer of your Maropost Commerce Cloud site. So back to the settings. There are two places where you can now put URLs for your store. If you just manage a single Maropost Commerce Cloud store, then you just want to put in your URL in the primary store URL field there. So just put it up the top there. You don't need to put anything in secondary store URLs. If you manage multiple Maropost Commerce Cloud stores, that's where you would put in your other URLs. So just place them in here and then space them out with a carriage return. So you just put multiple sites in like that. Now the reason why there are two places to put URLs is the primary store URL. When you fill that in, oh, by the way, you don't actually need to put these things in if you don't want to have the extra functionality, which I'll show you in a second. You can keep all these blank if you want. This information doesn't get passed through to me or anything like this. It's just stored on your computer. I don't see any of this information. If you put your URL in the primary store URL, what that does is it enables the right-click menu to work on basically any other site within your browser where you could have one of your SKUs listed. And I'll give you a bit of an example. Say you've got a Google Sheet and use Google Sheets to upload and mass update your products. If you've got a Google Sheet with one of your SKUs in the sheet, like this, what you can do now is click on the SKU like that, or you can select it in the cell in the Google Sheet, right click, and then go down to Tools for Maropost Cloud, Maropost Commerce Cloud, and then you can click on Edit Selected SKU in cPanel. So what that will do is from the sheet, it'll open up straight to the edit page. So all the time, we work with Google Sheets to do updating, and then it's like, okay, I need to have a look at that product because I'm missing some fields in the sheet, and then it's like a copy and go into the cPanel and then search for the product and all that sort of thing. So this makes it really, really quick. If you've got that SKU, just right click, Tools for Maropost Commerce Cloud, Edit Selected SKU. So you do need to have that field, that primary store URL filled out for this to work. And the right click from Google Sheets or any other site, it will only open up that primary store URL. It won't open up any of your secondary store URLs. There can only be one, or else the right click menu would get quite large if I had different options for different secondary URLs and all that sort of thing. So that's why we have the primary store URL. That's the one that you're on the most. You can change it as well, like if you're doing a lot of administration on one of the secondary store URLs and you need the right click functionality to go to one of those, then you can just copy that and then paste it into the primary store and then click save, and then you'll have that functionality for that secondary store. But I don't want that, so I'm going to update it back. Update my little extension there. So you want to put the full URL easiest way to get that URL is just to go to your homepage, select the URL in your address bar, Control C or copy on a Mac. So copy that into the clipboard, then go to your settings for the Chrome extension, then just paste it straight in. Click Save. You might need to close down your browser or refresh your page or something after you've saved the setting. Sometimes it can take a few seconds for the setting to update. So the other really cool thing, obviously with the right-click menu, if you're doing work on categories as well, the right-click menu will work on categories as well. So as long as you've got that content ID, like what we've got on the page, the content ID is down here in the footer. If you want to know how to install that, have a look at the video on the details pane. This might look a little different. I've put the video on how to install that content ID in your footer there, or you can get a developer to install it anywhere on your site, and that will enable the right-click menu on the content ID. So on your home page or on your category page, just right-click, go Edit Selected Content in cPanel, and that'll take you straight to that content page. So you can do the same thing with Google Sheets. If you've got a big Google Sheet with lots of content updates and stuff like that, like you're doing a mass category page update, then do the same thing here. Because I've got that site in my primary configuration, I can go straight to Edit Selected Content in cPanel, and it will open that straight up into my cPanel. So in this version and versions from now on, what I also have for you is the ability to look up a product by the supplier SKU. So you might have a place, well, in a Google Sheet, you've probably got a supplier SKU there. You've probably got the normal SKU. But where this can come in handy is if you've got, say, a data sheet or something from a supplier, and they've only got the supplier SKU on that data sheet. Maybe it's a spreadsheet. Maybe it's even a website. Maybe you're on the supplier's website. And I'm just going to give you a bit of a quick example here. Maybe, let's say, for example, this was a supplier website, and the supplier is only listing their supplier SKU or their supplier ID. So what you can do now is select the supplier SKU, which is probably not connected to your SKU at all on your site. Select the supplier SKU, right click, go to Tools, and then go Search Selected Supplier SKU in cPanel. So what that will do is it will match up a product on your site by that supplier SKU. So it takes you to the product page. It doesn't take you directly to the product, but it is an exact match supplier SKU. So if, for example, in your product on your site, I'll just click on this and go down to stock control. If your supplier SKU in this field here matches up with your supplier's SKU on their site, then it will open directly up to it. So it will take you to your product that you're selling from your supplier directly from there into the supplier listing selection, and then you can click directly on the product for editing it. Great. So just a quick reminder, I'm really open to hearing feedback on other ways that maybe this tool can be expanded to make your life a lot easier. There are 3 really cool things that you can do with it, and there is more on the way. So just use the Make a Suggestion link here, and let me know if you've got any feedback. Leave a review on the Chrome extension page that you went to install the Chrome extension, and I will talk to you soon.